Welcome to the Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're exploring a topic that, well, it really touches all of us at some point. It's about how we remember and honor the people we love after they're gone.
Yeah, specifically looking at different ways to memorialize a life. It's a deeply personal thing.
It really is. And the ways we handle grief, how we keep memories alive, that's changing, isn't it? Especially with, technology and new ways of connecting.
Definitely evolving.
And our source for this deep dive gives us a very specific angle on that evolution. We're digging into an article called Why a Digital Memorial Can Be More Meaningful Than a Traditional Service. It's by David Cortez, just published June 9th.
Right. So our mission today is basically to unpack the perspective in this piece. What's the argument here comparing, say, traditional services with digital ones?
And what advantages does the article claim these digital memorials might have?
Exactly. What's the case it's making?
And just to get us started, the article kind of implicitly throws out a challenge, doesn't it? How do you possibly capture everything? The whole richness of a person's life, all the stories.
In just a few hours. Yeah, it's a huge question.
The article seems to hint that maybe that single time-bound event, while important, might not be the whole picture. Maybe there's another layer to remembrance.
Well, it does start by acknowledging the traditional service, the funeral or memorial, the familiar way we gather.
The way we've done it for a long time.
Yeah, to say goodbye, find comfort, that immediate sense of community, it absolutely serves a vital purpose in that moment, no question.
Right. But the article, it pretty quickly pivots to discussing some maybe limitations or challenges people sometimes feel with that format.
It does. One of the first things it points out is just the time constraint. A typical service is what, an hour, 2 hours maybe?
Pretty condensed.
Super condensed. And when you think about a lifetime of stories, experiences, all the different people who knew the person in different ways, fitting that into such a short window.
It's almost impossible. Someone always feels left out, or a story doesn't get told.
Right. And that time pressure often connects directly to the next thing it mentions, location barriers.
Yeah. People move around so much now.
Exactly. Not everyone who wants to be there can be there physically. You've got family overseas, friends who moved away years ago. Travel isn't always feasible.
So they miss that moment of collective gathering, which can feel isolating.
It can. Then the article touches on formality. Now, structure can be comforting for sure.
Absolutely. It provides a framework.
But the article suggests sometimes that very structure, the sort of expected program, might make it hard to capture the person's true, unique personality. Maybe their quirks, their humor.
Yeah. If you're trying to remember someone really unconventional, putting them into a very conventional box might feel.
Bit off. Yeah, maybe less personal than their life actually was.
That makes sense.
And finally, the article talks about the ephemeral nature of the traditional service.
Ephemeral, meaning it's over quickly.
Yeah, essentially. After those few hours, the specific memories shared, the tributes given in that room, they aren't easily sort of collected and preserved together in a lasting way.
They live on in people's minds, of course, but that shared experience itself.
It fades. The collective energy of that moment isn't easily revisited.
Okay, so the article lines up these potential challenges. The tight time frame, the distance problem, maybe too much formality for some, and the fact that the event itself is temporary.
Right, and that setup really serves as the jumping-off point for the main focus, the digital memorial.
The alternative it's presenting.
Exactly. It presents it not necessarily as a replacement for that immediate gathering that still has its place, but as a complementary approach. Or maybe even a primary one for some, one that's designed to be more flexible, more inclusive.
And more lasting.
And crucially, yes, more enduring.
Okay, so let's unpack the benefits the article highlights for these digital memorials. What's the upside, according to Cortez?
Well, the first big one is accessibility, anytime, anywhere. That directly addresses the location problem.
Because it's online.
Right. Anyone who knew the person, doesn't matter if they're across town or across the globe, can visit this online space.
And not just on one specific day.
No, that's key. They can access it whenever they feel the need, maybe when they're feeling reflective, months or even years down the line, outside that initial intense grief period.
Okay, so accessibility is huge. That tackles location. What about the time constraint you mentioned earlier? How does a digital space address that?
That leads straight into the second major benefit the article describes. It's a space for ongoing storytelling. This is maybe the biggest contrast with the single event.
Ongoing storytelling. meaning people can keep adding things.
Precisely. The need to share, to remember, to talk about the person. It doesn't just switch off after the funeral tea. A digital space allows people to keep contributing.
Like photos, memories that come up later.
Exactly. Photos, videos, written stories, reflections, not just in one short burst, but over time. It lets remembrance be more of a continuous process, less like a single finished event.
So it's not like setting up a web page and then it just sits there, static.
No, and the article really emphasizes that. It calls it an ever-evolving tribute.
Ever evolving. I like that.
Yeah. Unlike the traditional service, which, happens and is done, a digital memorial can grow. It can deepen. New memories surface. People find old photos.
Anniversaries could be marked there, perhaps.
Absolutely. Significant dates, milestones, they can be acknowledged later. It becomes this living, expanding celebration of the person's life.
That feels quite different. And does the article talk about making it feel, well, truly personal, avoiding that potential formality issue?
Yes, strongly. That's another key point. It can be incredibly personalized and unique.
Because you're not limited by the format of a physical service.
Right. Every person is unique. And this digital format lets you tell their specific story in a way that really reflects them. You can embed their favorite music, share inside jokes, include quirky photos.
Things that might feel out of place in a more traditional setting.
Perhaps. It allows for a level of detail, of individuality that's just really hard to pack into a standard, time-limited program.
And the article actually gives a concrete example
Right.
to show how this isn't just theoretical. It mentions something called a life portrait.
Yes, it uses that as an illustration of how you might create such a space, a service that helps make it more practical.
So how does it work, according to the article?
Well, it outlines how a service like that can help you efficiently gather and organize photos and stories, maybe from different family members or friends.
Pulling it all together in one place.
Exactly. And it also mentions the ability to create a custom tribute movie or a slideshow right within that digital space.
Okay, like a visual narrative.
Yeah. And adding those really personal touches is highlighted too. Things like maybe uploading a voicemail message you saved or creating a playlist of their favorite songs.
Or just focusing on specific memories that really capture who they were.
Right. Those details that make the tribute feel authentic.
And the ultimate goal, as the article describes it for these platforms, is to share a lasting digital space, one that friends and family can revisit anytime.
That seems to be the core idea, transforming all those scattered memories and contributions into something cohesive, accessible, and importantly, enduring. The author explicitly contrasts that potential with the limitations of a single-day event.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the main contrast David Cortez draws in the article is pretty clear.
Yeah, it seems to be. The traditional service is that vital, immediate, time-bound moment. It's for gathering, for that initial shared grief, essential for many.
Whereas the digital memorial, as he presents it, is built for the long haul. It's about providing a lasting, accessible, evolving space for the ongoing work of remembering, storytelling, celebrating.
Keeping those memories alive and reachable for years, potentially.
So the key benefits, again, were accessibility for everyone, everywhere.
The ability for ongoing contributions over time, making it grow.
The potential for deep personalization, really unique to the individual.
And just its fundamental nature as a lasting, not fleeting tribute.
And the example, a life portrait, just serves to show, okay, here's how you could actually build that kind of space. Gathering the pieces, adding the flavor, making it shareable.
Right. It makes the concept more tangible.
So it leaves us with a pretty interesting thought, drawing from the article's conclusion. If the traditional service handles that crucial, immediate moment.
What does it really mean, then, to create a space where remembering and celebrating can just continue indefinitely?
Yeah, not just for a day, but maybe forever online. What possibilities does that kind of ongoing space open up for truly preserving the essence of who someone was?
Long after the flowers have faded, as the article puts it. It's definitely something to ponder in how we approach memory and loss today.